comments over on the right. All right, take number 3, guys. Let's do it. Third one's a charm. Hello everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video we're going to be covering an interview that was done with Naoki Yoshida regarding patch 4.2 Eureka and future content. This interview is coming off of PlayStation Universe's website, and there will be a link to this in the description of the YouTube video. If you're watching it live on Twitch, which is where I'm actually recording this video for the first time in a while, I shared it in the chat, and I'm sure other subs or mods have the link handy as well, so you can check it out and read along as we go through the interview. So there's one specific note in here that I kind of want to talk about over the rest, but we'll cover some of the generic stuff that's been covered in previous interviews before, for those of you who may not have known that these things were commented on. The first question is about housing, how there wasn't enough of it in 4.1, and what are they doing to the housing system going forward to help improve players' chance at owning a home. For those who don't know, they're adding more wards in patch 4.2. We don't know how many just yet, but on top of that, they're planning on making a more fair system for people to obtain housing. Most people are guessing it's going to be a lottery system where you just kind of sign up for a house, and if your name gets pulled in the lottery, then you get to purchase a house and you don't have to worry about competing at that point. But even that comes with its own problems of also it's as fair as you get, but it's still kind of not fair because it's a chance-based system as opposed to everybody getting housing. But I think we've resigned to this point that we should kind of look forward to what they're going to be doing after 4.2. For those who don't know, they said after they've increased the number of wards and added whatever this new system is, they said they want to make it so apartments can be small, medium, or large. I think that will alleviate a lot of the issues, but they also kind of have to alleviate the issue of not being able to do things like gardening, and we'll see if they can accomplish that. I don't see any reason why they couldn't. If they're going to do small, medium, large apartments, it'd be nice if they could also add some of the, at least the basic functionality of what is mandatory to have kind of an outdoors for in housing currently. But I'll just have to wait and see the full details on that when it comes later. Second question is, are we going to get more Disciples of Hand or Land, and will they do anything to prevent it from being stale and repetitive? I don't know how you intend to make Crafting and Gathering less stale and repetitive, but, you know, they just talk about how it's kind of difficult to add a new Disciple of Hand or Land and how there's no plans to do it. The main reason being is either they have to have no impact on the existing crafters and gatherers and the existing recipes, or they have to then consider adding new recipes to all the crafters so that the new gatherer can be useful for the majority of the existing crafters. So you can't just add a new gatherer and then not add level 1, 10, 15, 20, etc. recipes to the other crafting classes to make sure they're useful while you're leveling up. That being said, they said it's not possible because Yoshi P doesn't like saying no to anything. It's just that at the current moment, there are no plans to really do so. As for Disciples of Hand, they want to add new things to make the job more exciting or to create additional goals or playstyles. What you can really do with a crafter, I couldn't tell you as someone who doesn't craft very much, but if you have ideas, be sure to leave them in the comment section of the video below. Moving on to the third question, they asked about role-playing actions. In patch 3.4, the role-play tag was added, and so they asked what other role-playing stuff you're going to be doing to help people get immersed in the world of Final Fantasy XIV in the future. The perform action that's coming for bards at 4.15, of course, is one of those actions. While I'm sure people who are not role-players and are just music enthusiasts will enjoy the action as well, it definitely is something more of what would be considered an RP action. On top of that, there's going to be more features after 4.15 that the players can use to create their own fun within the game, specifically the words that Yoshida used. We don't have any word on what those features are going to be after the perform action, but we also know the perform action itself is going to be getting updates with new instruments and octaves and things like that. So please look forward to it. Hi. Next question. It's a Diadem question. Oh, that's great. So the Diadem was a daring step towards new content, and they literally just said, people did not feel a strong incentive to stick with it for the long haul. And this answer is definitely going to be beat to death in my comment section right here. What lessons have you learned from the Diadem? What kind of changes can we expect when Eureka is implemented? What challenges have you encountered that have delayed its release till 4.2? Which is a great question regarding Eureka because we just don't know. So for the Diadem, they said, this is the answer that's going to get talked about a lot. We don't envision anything for Final Fantasy XIV that we make as content we want people to continue playing for an exceptionally long time. Now, clearly he's talking about making one piece of content that people will do it for 2 years, pretty much. The closest thing I guess you could consider that maybe has accomplished that in this day and age is World of Warcraft's artifact weapons, or even our own Relic and Zodiac weapons. But even those are like, you're not working on those forever, and you're doing old content to create them, at least up until the point of Eureka in 4.2. So I understand what he's trying to say, but when you say in an MMO you don't want to make content that is designed to entice players to play it for a long time, it doesn't sound great. It just never sounds good when you try to say things like that in an MMO that's trying to get people's money monthly. You know, what else? What can I say? That's what it is. Because of the rate, basically it's because of the rate the content is released. You know, they're either increasing the level cap, or they're increasing the item level cap, or there's new equipment. You know, there's always going to be something that's superseding the previous thing. And so it's hard to imagine something that is like a long-standing effect over time. I feel like they've done that with Palace of the Dead, but we'll see. I don't think that's the classification exactly that they're looking for. They tried a few different things with Diadem. First one was just farm monsters. Second one was players complete objectives with a surprise waiting for them in the form of a monster. And Eureka was developed based on our experiences from creating that content. So clearly they've taken feedback from both levels of it and tried to create something somewhere in the middle with Eureka. But the idea behind Eureka is to give players opportunities to experience content that has a completely different set of battle rules from field or instance content. However, it has been taking us time to develop due to the scale and completely new system. It shouldn't be much longer though. I'd like to point out that in a previous interview, Eureka is said to be something that can be approached with multiple numbers of people. You could do certain things solo, you could do things with a small group, you could do things with a large number of people. So it's supposed to tackle all degrees of like how many people you actually want to play with to approach the content, which leaves me fearing it's going to be Fates. Because, well, Fates you can do with however many people you realistically want to, so it is what it is. There's another thing about Eureka that's going to be coming later. That's not the big thing that I was talking about. Throughout A Realm Reborn and Heavensward, we've seen great improvements to the crafting system and inventory management, such as the ability to search the market boards and retain our inventories for specific items. With the new server upgrades, what kind of quality of life adjustments do you see as a possibility? Would it be feasible to be able to craft items from materials still in your retainer's inventory? So currently they're working on two things in terms of quality of life. The first one we know about is a large-scale and new system surrounding the glamour system and player inventories. People are hoping for a glamour log, something similar to transmogrification in World of Warcraft, but no hard confirmation on that. That's just kind of what's on our wish list right now, especially in terms of inventory management. Second is allowing for players to manage their retainer inventory, chat with friends, plan out schedules without having to log into the game through their companion app. This is something we've been waiting for over 2 years, the companion app, and it looks like they've been in the process of adding more features to it as the years of its delays have gone on and on and on. There will be more details about that in the coming months, so please look forward to it. Hi. All right, this is the question that I was waiting for. It was mentioned in an earlier interview. I'm not the first one to ask about Relic Armor, to be clear. I have asked about Relic Armor before, though. I thought about the idea of Relic Armor that can grow and improve your character through completing quests and running content, something akin to the Zodiac and Anima Weapon quests we have currently. Have you had any more thoughts about how this type of gear could be implemented? All right, yes. I think that's the most straightforward answer I've got from Yoshida about things in a while. We have actually already solidified our plans for this. This content will be packaged within the Forbidden Land of Eureka content, and thus will be implemented at the same time. There's nothing ambiguous about that answer at all. That is a straight up yes, it'll be there when Eureka's there. There you go. Relic Armor confirmed. If you had fun with the Relic weapons, if you had fun with the Zodiac weapons, well, you got a whole nother grind waiting for you in Eureka, the Forbidden Land. So we'll wait to see how that actually turns out, because people always like say, I can't wait for it, and then you get the thread saying, oh my god, it's just repeating the same thing over and over, and it's like, ugh. But hard confirmation, Relic Armor, Eureka, good to finally see that they're doing that. Let's see how the armor itself actually turns out. We'd love to see some improvements on the current free company system. It seems like more of a chat system than an actual clan. Is it possible, for example, to include a calendar so players can schedule events? They already said with the companion app, you'll be able to do the calendar and set schedules for events and stuff like that, which, by the way, for statics, really nice to have that in the 14 companion app. Chat functionality and more free features will be available within this app. Free features. Good keyword there. Recently made changes to the warrior job that has caused, oh no, could cause Dark Knights to feel slightly less useful in endgame. Slightly. With certain moves like Dark Passenger feeling much less useful. Are there any plans to address these potential balance issues? Okay. It's going to be a fun one. While we are always looking closely at community opinions on adjustments, the team currently feels that these recent changes have not made a largely visible disparity between classes. Many players are tackling the Unending Coil Bahamut Ultimate, and the trends in strategy and party composition is also a big indicator for us as well. However, I do not think it is wrong to say that the contribution a Warrior can bring now Shake It Off is more visibly apparent when compared to a Dark Knight. That sounds like a, hey, it did Ultimate. Guys, it did Ultimate. It's fine. It did Ultimate. Dark Passenger sucks, okay? There's nothing, no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Please, please, Please. Please. It's all, please. Okay, no, that's it. You screwed it up. Screwed it up. That's it. Shouldn't have beat Ultimate with the Dark Knight. Now they ain't gonna get nothing. Alright, we'll wait and see what actually ends up happening with that one. Players have voiced that the current crafting meta has a few problems, with 2-star crafting being incredibly difficult compared to new crafted items in the previous patches. This is making macros useless. I'm sorry, is this a complaint about having to try in crafting? Is there a reason this change was made? To create motivation for players to challenge themselves. I don't even think I need to read the rest of it. That's it. If you can't use a macro, fine, then you can't use them. Alright, I'm just moving on. Alright, anyway. As a monk, hi. We feel like the job has been somewhat left behind in Stormblood's launch in terms of job balance changes. Tackle Mastery is redundant, Brotherhood has limited use unless there are certain party compositions. And we love the role of Monk, and given Stormblood feels to be Monk focused, will we see any changes? Maybe even the rumored Grease Lightning 4. I would like to say this, if they did Grease Lightning 4, I'd like it to be more like a reserve Grease Lightning stack and not actually Grease Lightning 4. Like, you can store one extra stack, so if you use Tornado Kick or something, that it just kind of resets the timer back down to 1 stack or something like that. I don't know. The idea for Grease Lightning 4 is heavily debated. Okay, we don't need to know about why you didn't do Grease Lightning 4. That's not the core of the question. That's just like an addition to the question. Additional stacks, number of times can be executed within a certain amount of time will increase, so they'd have to nerf potencies. Okay, executing actions will become more hectic, and the disparity between player skill becomes more apparent. That's, for me, that doesn't matter. I just want to, like, I'm a monk, so, all right. Okay, I'm reading this whole thing. The 2 major issues would occur, and we decided not to move forward with the idea. I understand the desire to improve gameplay, and still very conflicted. However, we're continuing discussions with the development team on this topic. All right, well, I guess they're talking about Monk. But Grease Lightning 4, that's just the reason why we didn't have that. So, listen, I love my Monk. I'm perfectly okay with the way it plays now. I'm just saying, like, if you gave me something, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Sure, just come on. Just bring it in. Bring it in. And then that's the end. This is just them talking about the upcoming content coming soon. And then that's the end of the interview right there. So overall, a pretty moderate interview. You have some good questions, some silly questions, I feel, but that happens in every interview. There's always going to be questions that are not in the interest of the person reading it and whatnot, so you can obviously tell what was of my interest and what wasn't. So I'm looking forward to Relic armor in Eureka. Looking forward to it. Just, I don't know what to expect of Eureka, so can I really say I'm looking forward to it? We'll wait and see. At least we know there's going to be notorious monster spawns in Eureka, the Forbidden Land, and that's going to be a pretty large focus of it, I hope. But anyway, that's going to be a wrap for this video. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned for all the latest Final Fantasy XIV news, videos, guides, updates. You guys know the drill at this point. It's been like 4 years at this point. We'll be all right. So anyway, thank you. I'll see you guys next time, and until then, take care. And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. That's for YouTube. All right, we're going to get ready for Warframe now.